Hello everyone, how are you all? So we have a delay of like 2 minutes. We'll be starting. Sir is trying to join the Zoom meeting. All right, just give five minutes more. Right. So we are starting in 2 minutes. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aditya, and I have been doing these webinars since the past two sessions, I guess. One for maths I've done, and one for physics. And the host is joining us, Nagraj, in 2 minutes. He's trying to get in through the Zoom. I think he's here. Yes, he's here. Hello,
Yes,
sir.
Aditya. Good evening. Good evening,
Yes.
Aditya.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Finally, you were able to join. So, I was just introducing myself. So, I am Aditya. For those who have joined late, I've done a session on maths, a session on physics, and now it's the time for chemistry. So this is Naman sir. Naman sir has been my teacher during my JEE times and even afterwards. So I've taken a lot from him. Um, when I used to teach physics, he used to assist me with the chemistry part. He used to guide my students, those who learned physics from me, for the chemistry part. Chemistry is a subject. See, usually what happens, no, in physics and maths, the people who generally like physics and maths, they don't tend to like chemistry as much. So that is an issue, and he helped me recover from that issue. Because of him, I also represented in chemistry Olympiad along with physics and maths. So a big round of applause for Naman sir. Naman sir, without further ado, I would like you to introduce yourself to the students. My introduction can go on and on for the whole webinar. Definitely.
Yes, I would like to tell the students my name is Naman Pande, and I have been in the coaching industry now for close to 17 years. I starting my teaching career with Bansal classes. I taught there from 2004 to 2009. And then probably I wanted to set up something of my own at my native place, and that didn't work out. I started teaching in Bombay from October 2012. From October 2012 right up till June 2015, I was doing a proper job in Bombay at a coaching institute. And then I started my own freelancing work. I now teach as a freelancer to any student who wants to approach me to study chemistry for JEE Advanced, JEE Mains, and the NEET examination. So that's a brief roundup. It's been around nearly uh, 16 to 17 years in this industry, teaching chemistry to a number of students. So that is round about my basic introduction to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Always to the point. So here we here we have a few questions. Abronil is asking, sir, should we give importance to environmental chemistry, medicine, and drugs? The peripheral chapters in chemistry.
Yeah,
So that's a very valid question.
actually, see what happens is, teachers only teach the topic which they enjoy teaching. That usually happens in most of the coaching institutes. Teachers will continue teaching what they enjoy teaching. They will stretch a topic which they enjoy teaching without realizing that the JEE mains question paper is a very balanced question paper. They will give you questions from each and every topic, and you can't leave out any topic at all. As you mentioned, environmental chemistry. No teacher likes teaching it because it is essentially you have to do a lot of rote learning in that topic. Topics like polymers, topics like environmental chemistry, topics like chemistry in everyday life. These topics involve a lot of rote learning. There aren't many concepts behind these topics. So usually what happens is teachers will also avoid teaching those topics. Students will also keep on avoiding them, but you have to accept the fact that you're going to get questions from those topics. So definitely you will have to cover them. I have seen the question papers over a number of years. They do give at least 2 questions will come from these peripheral topics, and you will have to give sufficient time to them. That's the reality of JEE Mains. All these topics may not be in the JEE Advanced exam. Like polymer chemistry is in JEE Advanced, but environmental chemistry and chemistry in everyday life, you can sort of, for the JEE Mains, it's not all that important. Sorry, for the JEE Advanced. So, but you will still have to do it. Polymer chemistry, chemistry in everyday life, environmental chemistry. You just can't neglect them. Every +4 mark is very important. Rather than getting a -1 or not even attempting it, it adds up in the end. So no point neglecting these chapters at all. You will have to do them. I know they involve rote learning, but you can't help it. They have to be done.
Definitely, sir. I'd like to add something onto this. These are the chapters which, with one reading of NCRT, you know whether you get the answer or not. These are
Yes, see,
based
the
chapters,
point
I guess.
is from these chapters, the questions are going to be very direct. Like,
Yes.
questions on if you go to polymer chemistry chapter, questions on high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, dacron. These are common. These are very, very common questions, and they are very direct. You
Indeed.
won't have to think much about a lot of things. If you know the answer, you can just directly tick them and you will get +4. So they
Yes.
have their pros also. Doing these chapters thoroughly is beneficial also. Solving the questions of these chapters won't take time. Either you know it or you don't know it. And if you know it, you are going to get a +4. So it helps. It really helps in increasing your score.
Of course. So, sir, there is one more question which I think is the most important question here. Since the JEE exam is less than a week away, right? 6 days, I guess. 23rd, the slot one is starting, and for those who are lucky enough who have chosen a later slot, good for them. But see, even when it starts on the 23rd, the most they can do is paper practice from 23rd to their slot date, right? So, in these 6 days, in terms of preparation, what would you suggest students to do?
See, the most important thing which I would like to convey to the students is don't neglect the NCRT textbooks, especially in chemistry. The chemistry NCRT textbooks are excellent. You should do the exercises behind each and every chapter. The exercises, solve problems, in-text questions. If you go to the CPSC website, you will get the NCRT exemplar problems. I have seen on a number of occasions that questions are directly asked from the NCRT exemplar problems. They take out direct statements from the NCRT and they'll ask you whether the statement is true or false. So what I want you to do is, rather than studying material from any coaching institute or any other XYZ, I would rather, that's my first important point, which I would like to tell the students, just close down every other book and do the NCRT properly. All the 4 chemistry NCRTs, every exercise question, every solved problem, every in-text question. And yes, NCRT exemplar problems you can get from the CBSE website, or I can share the chemistry problems with you, Aditya, of the NCRT exemplar, and they are fantastic questions. They are nearly equivalent to JEE Advanced level questions. So NCRT exemplar questions are very, very important. So
Yes.
that is one point. Focus on the NCRT. The second important point is that if you haven't studied a chapter up till now, or during the revision phase, you are not able to revise a particular chapter, don't go into it now. Just don't go into it now. When you try to do something in the end, you try to do it in a hurry, and that doesn't register in your mind. As of now, my most important advice is follow the NCRT, do one practice test paper for JEE Mains every day. One paper, that's enough. One practice test paper for JEE Mains and NCRT. So those are the 2 most important points which I would like the students to follow towards the end, or when we are just about to approach the JEE Mains exam.
Okay, okay, all right, sir. In fact, that is the advice which you gave to me also 7 years back, and that really helped.
Aditya, I don't know much about the maths NCRT because one of my colleagues who teaches maths says that the maths NCRT is not sufficient.
Yeah,
It's
it is
not,
not.
yeah.
It is not, sir.
And a lot of physics teachers who I know say that the physics NCRT is also very good. It has very good questions. Chemistry, I can I can assure you if you've done your NCRT chemistry very well, you will score very well in the JEE Mains. There'll be no problem in the JEE Mains exam. So NCRT is the most important book, the 4 NCRTs in chemistry, and one practice test for JEE Mains every day.
One mock test every day.
Yes, one JEE Mains practice test every day.
Okay. So now I'll summarize the three things which sir said students. You can take this as a Brahmastra, and one is NCRT. Read thorough NCRT, whatever chapters you think you are comfortable with. Read them. Maybe recapitulate them
And
again.
no, not just read, Aditya. You
Okay.
have to do the exercise questions.
Yes.
Exercises given at the back of the chapter in text questions.
In text questions. All right. So in text questions from the NCRT book, even the exemplar problems, they are very important. You can get some question directly into thrown into your JEE exam. JEE Mains and Advanced. Yes. Secondly, do not try something new if there is some chapter which you haven't studied until now. Don't take it up right now. You can take it up for the next attempt or maybe for JEE Advanced. So that is a strategy which one should follow. And the
Aditya,
third
one
thing,
more point. Aditya, one more point I'd like to tell you. What happens is sometimes, students have planned their revision and they are not able to follow that plan due to some factors. So, they become tense. They become tense when they are approaching the exam. See, the student should realize that they've been preparing for this exam for 2 years. Some students have been preparing for 3 or 4 years also. So, panicking at the last moment is not going to help. Have faith in what you've done in the past 2, 3, or 4 years. At the end, don't panic. If your revision, if you have not been able to revise as you had planned, don't panic. Just like, just be calm, cool and calm and give the examination. At this time, don't think if something has gone wrong in your planning, you've not been able to revise as you had planned, you've not been able to give as many test papers for the JEE mains practice test papers. Don't panic at the last moment. I've seen many good students who are not able to score well in the end, not because they don't know the subject, they don't have subject knowledge. It's because they panic in the end. They get tense and they panic. And that transfers into their performance in the examination also. So I think this is another point which the students should remember that, okay, now you can't do anything. You should just, as I said, revise your NCRT properly, give one practice test paper of JEE mains every day. Don't panic, don't take any tension. That doesn't help. It only lowers your score. These are the very, very important points, Aditya. Very, very important points.
okay, okay. Sir, so here there is another question from Kanishka. So Kanishka is like, how many questions should we attempt to? So let's say a student wants a score between 150 to 200. All right, the overall score. And let's say he's not like very good at maths or very poor at chemistry. So what would be, in your opinion, an ideal score in chemistry, and how much time should he put in chemistry in the exam, in a 3 hour exam?
See, I'm going to tell this very, very clearly to the students. In the end, when they make the chemistry test paper, it is going to come out to be the simplest as compared to physics and maths. Physics and maths will be much more thought-provoking than chemistry, because in the end, you have to realize chemistry involves facts. So I used to tell this thing to all my students. When you are giving those practice test papers for JEE mains, put the clock at 45 minutes for chemistry, or put it at 40 minutes for chemistry, because that 20 minutes which you are going to save from chemistry, give 10 minutes extra to maths, give 10 minutes extra to physics, because they are in maths and physics you will get more thought-provoking questions and they require time. So you should be in the habit of finishing chemistry at the most by 45 minutes, because from chemistry, those 15-20 minutes which you're going to get, that is going to help you that is really going to help you in maths and physics.
Hmm.
I have always told my students, try finishing chemistry by 45 minutes, else mathematics and physics will become a problem.
Hmm.
However good you may be however good you may be at chemistry, or however poor you may be at chemistry, chemistry has to finish within a time span of 40 to 45 minutes. Otherwise, you won't be able to get time for maths and physics. And maths and physics will have more thought-provoking problems.
And I feel that they should apply this same strategy while they are doing their mocks itself. Whenever they are having their
Yes,
JEE Mains
yes.
mocks
When
from 11th
yes,
standard, I would say they should practice this.
yes, this should be a standard practice that you should try and physics, that you should try and complete your chemistry part within 40 to 45 minutes, because that 15-20 minutes which you are going to get, okay, you can transfer it to physics or maths equally, or you can give it to one particular subject.
Mhm.
If you are giving more time, then I think you will have a problem in maths and physics. That's a very important strategy which I'm telling the students. Get into the habit of finishing chemistry within 40 to 45 minutes.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely, sir. Sir, there's one more question here from Shashank. Like, yeah, this is a very valid question. Like NCRT will help in organic NCRT. Even I have seen amazing book in organic too. But the physical chemistry part, usually the standard practice is people solve some numerical based questions from
I'll tell you
or
something. Just wait.
RCM or something.
Aditya, I'll tell you one thing. You have also read the NCRT, Aditya. Probably in the chapter of structure of atom, probably you won't get any better theory. You won't get better theory in any other coaching institute module. The theory
Definitely.
given in the chapter for structure of atom, the theory given in the chapter for thermodynamics is probably one of the best which I have read.
Okay.
Right. So Aditya, we had discussed this in class.
Yes, yes, we have.
Probably you won't find in any coaching institute module, they will give various definitions for internal energy, all all vague definitions. In NCRT, it is simply given what you talk in physics as total energy. We chemistry people call it as internal energy. It's so
Mhm.
simple. But in various coaching institute modules, they will give X, Y, Z, what all definitions they keep on giving. Correct.
Yes, of
So
course.
I feel some very, very crucial chapters, the theory is one of the finest. In
Mhm.
chapters like structure of atom, in chapters like thermodynamics, in chapters like solid state, chemical kinetics, chapters like liquid solutions. I don't accept this that the physical chemistry NCRT is not up to the mark.
Mhm.
Probably the number of questions given for practice are slightly lesser,
Mhm.
but the theory is excellent. Theory is
Okay.
excellent.
Mhm. All
The
right.
only drawback could be the number of questions given for practice are lesser.
So in that case, sir, which book should a student follow? Maybe see this attempt is very near. In case he
See,
wants to really prepare for physical
Aditya,
chemistry in the next attempt,
R.C. Mukherjee was never a book meant for JEE Mains. It was always a book meant for JEE
advance,
Advanced.
advance, yes.
Correct. It was always a book meant for JEE Advanced. P. Bahadur is also a book meant only for JEE Advanced.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that if the students want to study for JEE Mains, Narendra Awasthi level 1.
NA level one. Yes,
Narendra
yes.
Awasthi level 1.
Yes,
Narendra
yes.
Awasthi level 1 is good enough for the JEE Mains physical chemistry. Good practice, very good practice.
Yes,
Narendra Awasthi level 1, good enough for JEE Mains.
okay. Sir, if you had to list down 5 chapters in chemistry, whole of chemistry, physical, organic, inorganic, everything inclusive, which 5 chapters do you think a student needs to know to
Okay,
really?
see, uh, I have been going through the number of questions which have been asked in chemistry for a number of years. And I think if you go chapter to chapter, don't take branches together,
Mhm.
take chapter to chapter, probably maximum number of questions have been asked from the chapter of chemical bonding.
Okay,
And
chemical
I think
bonding.
the students would also be realizing this, that chemical bonding is the base or the heart of chemistry. Unless you know chemical bonding, you just can't move ahead in chemistry.
Of course.
It is the base. If you don't know chemical bonding, you won't be able to do organic and inorganic, nothing doing.
Mhm.
So chemical bonding is one chapter which like, a lot of questions are asked, chemical bonding.
Okay.
Then if you go to organic chemistry, GOC and isomerism.
Yes, of
GOC
course.
and GOC and GOC and isomerism, again, they are the foundations of organic chemistry. And without them, probably if you know GOC and isomerism, well, you may be able to do a lot of other questions. And as far as physical chemistry is concerned, probably the maximum number of questions till date have been asked from electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is one chapter which JEE gives a lot of importance to. So electrochemistry is one of them, and I would say thermodynamics and thermochemistry.
Indeed.
I think these are the 5 chapters which I would put down as being one of the most important for preparing for JEE.
Okay, fine. So to summarize, the chapters were, the first is chemical bonding, of course.
Yes.
It is the basis to everything which is there in chemistry. Second is GOC and isomerism. So 2 and 3, GOC, isomerism, and in inorganic coordination. Which one?
Coordination chemistry, again, very important, coordination chemistry.
Coordination chemistry. Yes.
Yes. So I'm repeating the chapters again. Chemical bonding and coordination chemistry, very, very important. Correct.
Okay.
Then physical chemistry, thermodynamics, thermochemistry, and electrochemistry. And if the students have time, liquid solutions, it's a heavily scoring topic.
Okay.
And
Liquid
then
solutions. Very,
liquid solutions,
it's quite easy. Yeah.
it's easy.
Raoult's law, right? Raoult's law.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I think then organic chemistry, GOC and isomerism form the very basis of organic chemistry,
Definitely. So these are the 5 chapters. Those who wanted Sir to repeat. So one is chemical bonding, GOC isomerism, thermodynamics and thermochemistry, liquid solutions, and coordination compounds. So these are the chapters. If you do, you will get a very decent score. Like 40% of the JEE Mains paper is from these chapters, in my experience and in Sir's extensive experience as well. So we will take another question. Next question is, Sir, okay.
Yes.
What
Yes.
are your, so there are 2 schools of thought here, sir. Like, even I had discussed this with you when I was a student. Either to solve past year question papers, like full question papers, or to take up the questions from chapter wise, like chapter wise question papers, chapter wise questions from past year JEE. So which strategy?
At this stage of preparation, you should be doing the previous year's question papers. At this stage
papers,
of preparation.
right? Full papers, right?
Yes, full papers at this stage.
Okay.
At this stage, you should be doing the full year, or means full syllabus test.
Okay.
And previous year's question papers, yes, definitely. As I said, where in the very beginning, you have to do one test every day. So even pick out any 7 or 8 test papers and do them of the previous years. And that's a good strategy. That's a good strategy.
Yes, definitely, sir. And okay, sir, what has been the recent breakup across the sections? Like during our times in JEE Mains, physical, organic, inorganic. Physical was the most, organic and inorganic was somewhat lesser.
Aditya, with time, I have seen they've started giving importance to all the 3 branches
equally.
Yes, in JEE Mains. At least in JEE Mains. Yes.
Okay.
And in JEE Advanced, you really cannot predict. I have seen certain years where inorganic chemistry has been the dominant branch.
Okay.
So with JEE Advanced, you cannot predict. That would be a mistake. In JEE Main, now they are giving equal priority to all the 3 branches.
Okay.
That could be at one particular time they had given priority to physical chemistry, but now no, that's changed. It's equal priority to all the 3 branches.
All the 3 branches. Okay. So there is no but let's say, see, inorganic is a problematic section, at least for people like me who focus more on JEE, like physics and chemistry.
See, I have always maintained that students who are preparing for engineering, nearly 70% 95% of them prefer physics and maths, and they don't like doing chemistry. Even if they do like doing chemistry, for them it's more about physical chemistry, because
Yes.
in the end it boils down to manipulation of formulae.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
Even
manipulation
organic
of
is quite
formulae.
logical.
Yeah, and
Organic is also
organic
quite logical.
chemistry, organic chemistry is, absolute systematic, probably one of the most systematic branches of chemistry. In organic chemistry, definitely the chemical bonding can be understood, coordination chemistry can be understood, salt analysis, inorganic qualitative analysis has a very, very systematic approach.
Okay.
So that particular chapter also can be understood. Aditya, I used to tell all of you, if you have done 3 chapters, coordination, chemical bonding, and salt analysis, 60% of the questions in inorganic chemistry come from these 3 chapters.
Okay. So yes, yes,
So
definitely. That is what we did, in fact.
So for any student who gives more importance to maths and physics, in inorganic chemistry, he can just stick to these 3 chapters. That would suffice. That would suffice. Coordination, chemical bonding, and salt analysis.
Salt analysis. Yes, sir. So, in fact, that is a very big, uh, I would say, a revelation from your side, because most of the students have sort of a phobia towards organic chemistry. But a lot of it is rote learning, the blocks part of it.
Yes,
But
there is no doubt about the fact that blocks require rote learning. There are very few things which can actually be understood or got down to an understanding plane. It has to be like learned. And only very few students who make chemistry their most scoring subject will go in for putting in a lot of time into inorganic chemistry. So, those students who like maths and physics, who are more inclined towards the maths and physics thing, I would say that for them in inorganic chemistry, chemical bonding, coordination, and salt analysis is enough. They can give more. They can give more time to maths and physics and score
of
there.
course.
Aditya, you know what Mohit Shah did?
Yes, yes, he did the same. Oh, he did that in advance.
He did that in advance. He just
Yes,
studied physical and organic. I know he didn't touch inorganic.
yes, yes. Even
But
I
his,
didn't do inorganic as much, except for
but his,
coordination.
but his plan was that he had done his physical and organic so well that he really didn't even bother for inorganic.
Yes, yes, of course. He did.
And at that time he gave to maths and physics.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, yes.
if you plan well, you can get into IIT with a very good score. You have to plan well.
Yes, planning is where we need some, great coaches like you, sir. So hence you are here, you are catering to maybe a bigger audience than you usually do in the coaching where I used to invite you as a teacher, or maybe where we were learning from you. So it was a small audience. We are trying to, benefit the students more and more as possible. So again, one more question that's an interesting question. So, sir, if there is someone who, due to some unforeseen circumstances, has started a bit late, let's say he started in January, the JEE Mains preparation in January, till then he was focusing more on the boards, and now he has started preparing for JEE Mains. So, from chemistry point of view, as your common thing which I can take from this webinar is NCRT. So, he must have done the NCRT part at least. What more does he need to do to ensure a decent score in JEE Mains?
See, like supposing if the student is very, very if he knows the NCRT very well, and he is giving one practice paper every day, one practice paper for means every day, and he still has time for chemistry. And supposing he still has time for chemistry, then I would tell him, if you have done NCRT 5 times, do it 3 times more.
Okay. So it's NCRT, NCRT, NCRT.
At least for the JEE mains. At
Mhm.
least for the JEE mains.
So let's say not for this attempt, he is preparing for the July attempt.
Okay.
So in a
Yes, see, if
month.
that student is preparing for the July attempt, then see what happens is every coaching institute module, if you will see, will have specific sections for JEE mains and JEE advanced. In any coaching institute module, if you look at, you will have a section for JEE Mains, you will have a section for JEE Advanced. He should just go through the JEE Mains questions one after the other. Every booklet, JEE Mains questions. I don't know, Aditya, but at least in the Narayana booklets and in the PACE booklets, there's a clear demarcation, for the JEE Mains questions and the JEE Advanced questions. He can just pick up one of these booklets and start doing the JEE Mains questions one by one. Like we also discussed, in physical chemistry, if he is doing Narendra Avasthi level 1 of each and every chapter, he need not even do that. Narendra Avasthi level 1 is good enough.
Yes, yes.
In that similar way, he can start doing Himanshu Pandey, level 1 and level 2 questions, organic chemistry.
Yes, sir.
VK Jaiswal, level 1 of every chapter. In organic chemistry, VK Jaiswal, level 1 of every chapter. Or there is another book, Aditya, known writer is Prabhat Kumar.
Yes,
in organic chemistry, Prabhat Kumar. So, don't ask him to start opening up a reference level textbook of a foreign author, and start asking him to read the whole book like a novel. He doesn't have time to do that. So, he should just pick out certain definite books and start doing the JEE Mains level problems. Usually the level 1 of these books is all JEE Mains level. Narendra Avasthi level mains is JEE Mains, correct? Himanshu Pandey level 1, level 2, all these things are JEE Mains. And VK Jaiswal level 1 of every chapter he can do. Because see, basically for JEE Mains, what you require is practice. You have to practice a large number of questions. For JEE Advanced, it's reverse. JEE Advanced is like do few questions, do very good questions. That is more important. Aditya, you must be, Ajay Devri sir very well.
Yes, Devri sir.
Ajay Devri sir always used to tell me that if you are preparing for an exam like JEE Advanced, instead of doing 100 simple questions, it's better to do 5 very difficult
5 or 10 good questions. Yes.
5 very good questions like Bahadur sir would do in class.
Yes. Bahadur sir, oh my God, that has opened up a lot of memories.
Every exam has a different requirement. For JEE Mains, you need to practice a lot more questions, increase your speed. For JEE Advanced, it's like you need to build up on your concepts through very difficult level problems.
Definitely.
In JEE Mains, you are not going to get very difficult level problems. They are going to be average problems, but a large number of them. So you need to practice more and more.
Okay. Yes, sir. Definitely. Sir, here one more thing comes up. Like how much, if let's say there is a student who is getting some 10 or 15 marks in the mocks for JEE Mains, but that student is also getting 60 plus in both physics and maths. So for such a student,
then Aditya, I would say if he has to increase his score and he has very less time to do so, out of 3 branches of chemistry, he should select 2 and first start building up his concepts in 2 branches.
Okay. So
then he should completely, then see, these are, I'm telling you, strategies to increase marks. Then he should just keep aside 1 branch. Just keep it aside. And start working on 2. Start working.
Which of those 2 should he choose? Like which of
physical
the 3?
And organic. Physical and organic because they are the most systematic.
Yes, makes sense. Yes.
So that thing is just keep aside 1 branch. Just keep it aside. And start building up your score through two branches of chemistry. Start working on 2 branches. Heavily start working on 2 branches, and you will find the score moving up.
Yes, definitely. So yes, that's all about it. There are two more questions, sir. There is someone called Abronil who is asking that he's scoring in an 80-85 range, usually consistently. In chemistry. So that's a good score, right? 80-85 is a good score out of 100.
Yes, it's a good score.
It's a good score. And he has been saying the same about physics and maths also. So he was there in the physics and maths webinar. So that's a score of around 240, 250. So what colleges do you think he should target, and how should he take his preparation from here to further? Maybe get more marks in JEE Mains or
a student who is already scoring at that level should not be thinking much about JEE Mains, then he should be thinking about JEE Advanced.
JEE Advanced, right? So Abronil is a candidate for JEE Advanced. Even I said the same thing. So
Yes,
Abronil, if
the
you are
point
listening
is
to
that
this,
if he's scoring so well, what he should be doing is he should be trying to score very well in the first round of JEE Mains. If he gets a percentile above 99.5 in JEE, the first JEE Mains, I would suggest he should not even appear for the second JEE Mains.
yes, of
And
course.
right from the first JEE Mains, he should start preparing for JEE Advanced.
Yes, yes,
I think he can drop this if he gets 99.5 percentile or above, he can just skip the second JEE Main and start working on the JEE Advanced exam.
yes, makes sense. Like I would do the same thing if I was in his place. Okay, so okay, there is a Rama Devi who is asking how to become master in organic chemistry. So, how does one master organic chemistry? What should be the strategy? Let's say a person maybe is thinking of a drop, or maybe that person in the webinar
If,
here is in 11th
if you
standard.
want to improve organic chemistry, if you really want to start mastering organic chemistry, there
Mhm.
are three main chapters in which you need to have a very good command. That is general organic chemistry, isomerism, and reaction mechanism.
Mhm.
If you know these three chapters very well, you've practiced a lot of questions from these chapters, you will obviously start developing, you will obviously start getting more and more marks. You'll
Mhm.
start means you'll start scoring very heavily. So there are three main chapters on which you have to focus. That is general organic chemistry, isomerism, and reaction mechanism. And and if that student is already scoring very heavily, really enjoying chemistry, organic chemistry, the best book to go in for is SN Sanyal and Paula Bruce.
Yes, of course.
Paula Bruce and SN Sanyal will probably be the best combination to start reading at this stage to really master organic chemistry. See, if that student is going to appear for the JEE Advanced this year, ask him to move into SN Sanyal, reading each and every line of SN Sanyal. There's a
Mhm.
book narrative which you must be remembering: Reactions, Reagents, and
Yes,
Rearrangements
yes,
by
SN Sanyal. Everyone, it was like a Bible for us when it came to mechanisms.
So SN Sanyal is a fantastic book, and Paula Bruce.
Of course.
With
Sir,
these two
one
books,
minute. Paula Bruce, right?
yeah,
You remember a time when you used to scold me for reading Paula Bruce and not
because
Morrison Boy?
Aditya, see, there's a reason for it. Your aim was not your primary subject was not chemistry. Your primary subject was physics.
Yes.
Now, today, the manner in which you asked me the question was that a student wants to master organic chemistry.
Okay.
That means he must be knowing a bit of organic chemistry beforehand. So if you're talking about mastering organic chemistry, and a student would want to master organic chemistry if chemistry is his primary subject.
Of course.
So, your primary subject was not chemistry. You started to take a liking for it probably when you just had 6 or 7 months in hand.
Yes, 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 definitely. And I could do so much in those 6, 7 months thanks to you. We had that one class every week, and that's it. That's it. We were done with it.
Yes.
So that tells me that these students who really worry a lot or give maybe too much time for chemistry can be easily done if they plan it well. So what
Yes.
are your thoughts on this, sir?
See, like as from the teacher's point of view, we can finish off chemistry in 300 hours,
300 hours.
120, 120, 60
60 for inorganic. Okay.
in organic. Huh. So because see,
Okay.
in organic, physical and organic require a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
yes.
we do give a lot of time to that. Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But inorganic requires less of practice, more of learning. So we can do with a fewer number of hours. But yes, physical and organic require much more time, much more time.
Definitely. Mhm. So, sir, one final thing, like I would like you to address the students and tell them that some do's and don'ts for the exam. Because the exam is in less than a week. What would be
Okay.
your final day tips for the students?
See, the final day tips for the students would be, I'm repeating that same point again. The students have this vague habit, that trying to read a book even when they are going into the examination hall. Just even
Yes.
before they are about to enter the examination hall, they'll be carrying a book, trying to learn up something in the end. And that doesn't help. That
Yes,
really doesn't help. Don't do those sort of things.
of
They'll
course.
only confuse. If you try to read anything in the end, that's only going to confuse you. So
Mm-hmm.
don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And be properly rested before the exam.
Mm-hmm.
As far as while doing the exam is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest problems which students face is supposing they are doing a question, Aditya, and they do the question and they suddenly find that the answer which they are getting doesn't match with any options. That is where the problems begin. Then they start to lose confidence.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yes,
JEE
yes.
Main, I would tell the students, attempt a question only once. If
Okay.
it matches the option, good enough, else move to the next one. Don't start putting in too much time into one question.
Mm-hmm.
That will lead to lowering your score. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have done a question, solve it only once. If it matches the option, mark it correct. If it doesn't match the option, move ahead. Don't do it again. You will be wasting a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
That is problematic. And the one last point, you get what I always tell students, before you
Mm-hmm.
even start attempting the questions, give 5 minutes to just browse through the questions in chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
and in your mind make a map that these questions are the easy ones, these questions are the easy ones,
Mm-hmm.
and do them first.
Of course.
When
Yes.
when you look at the question paper, you get an idea. You sort to get an idea of which questions are the difficult ones and which are the easier ones. So
Mm-hmm.
have a just go through all the questions, make a mind map that these questions are the simple ones, and first do those.
Mm-hmm.
These are the points which I would like to tell the students just before going into the exam and while doing the exam.
Okay.
Uh,
Fine. Definitely, sir. These are some really important things which you pointed out, sir. And
Aditya,
I, yes, sir.
I think there's something which has happened. This poll sort of thing has come over here.
It's okay. It's okay, sir. You don't need to worry
Okay.
about. You don't need.
Okay. Yeah.
So, sir, these are a few things. I wanted your permission, like if I can share your maybe email ID with the students. If they have anything, they can reach out to you.
Yes, they can. Yes, you can share my email. Yes, you
Yes, sir.
can do
I
it.
will repeat the email ID again. It's Naman Pande,
NAMANPNDE
Naman Pande
1982
1982 at the
at
rate.
gmail.com.
Okay, sir. So students, I have given Naman sir's email ID. Reach out to him in case you have any doubts. Reach out to him in case you need anything, and that will be all. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. And in case anyone wants to talk to sir or me directly, maybe a live, interaction, I'll give like a minute for that. In case anyone wants, just raise your hand. Okay, Rudransh and Pragya. Okay, Rudransh, I have allowed you to talk. So just unmute yourself and you can talk to us. Hi, Rudransh, how are you? How is your preparation going?
Yes, sir, it's going good.
Okay, so what was your question?
So tomorrow I have giving the next exam. So
Okay,
in the next 4 to 5 hours, what should I do?
next exam. So what are the subjects in the next exam? They
I
must be
have
the same,
taken
right? PCM.
yes, sir.
One of my students is also giving the next exam. So see, whenever what I did before my JEE mains, I'll tell you. So never try to read a lot of things, or maybe study hard, get stressed 24 hours before your exam starts. It's always better to do something which you like. Maybe what I did was I played cricket. I went for a job, or maybe I read a novel, and that's it. For the next 5 to 6 hours, try to relax yourself. Try to spend as much time as you can with your family. Try to talk anything apart from your studies. So that really helps, and I think sir would back me up on this. Relaxing a bit
Yes,
before your
I
exam
have,
will
uh,
really help.
I have mentioned it time and again that, I just told you right now, there are students, who will take a book right up till the entrance of the examination room. And they'll keep trying to read up something in the end. That doesn't help. I'm telling you, if he asks me what has to be done before 4 and 5 hours before the exam, I think you should be just relaxing and
Okay, sir.
I would say just relax, take it easy. Don't open any book 4 or 5 hours before the exam.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, definitely. Rudransh, I hope that answers your doubt. For the next exam, all the best. For till that time, you can just chill out. That would be my advice.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, no problem. So, ठीक है. Anyone else? Ratnadeep. Ratnadeep, I am allowing you to talk. Please unmute and talk. Hello, Ratnadeep. Are we audible? Please unmute and talk. Hello. Okay, maybe he's not there. Okay, Sai Madhumita, I am allowing you to talk. You can talk to us. Sai, please unmute and talk. There is a microphone button which you will have to. Okay, anyway, fine. I think most of them are done. So, sir, thank you very much for giving your valuable time to us time and again. And we hope to have you as a panelist more and more and help the upcoming batches to really get good at chemistry. See, if you could make me good at chemistry, who didn't even like chemistry, there's a lot to do.
I think
There's a lot to
I think you put in a lot of effort from your side also.
Yes, yes, definitely. But one needs a push, right? One needs a good guide. One needs a Drona to the Arjun. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Goodbye. Have a great day. Bye,
okay.
everyone. All the best for your exams and do well.
Okay, all the best to the students. Right. Okay, Aditya. Right.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel.